In Umuadara village, they say miracles come from God, but sometimes they come wrapped in deception. This is a story of love, betrayal, and the hardest forgiveness a man can ever give. Congratulations, Mama Nena. Chineke has remembered you finally. The women in Umuadara village sang in high-pitched joy. The talking drum echoed through the red earth compound. Palm wine flowed like a river after rainfall. After 20 years of marriage, Nena was finally a mother. Obioma stood tall, holding his newborn son like a trophy wrestled from destiny itself. But destiny has a way of hiding thorns behind flowers. As the baby's naming ceremony began, Obioma's phone vibrated. Unknown number, a video file. He frowned, stepped aside, pressed play. His world shifted. On the screen was his wife, Nena, and Pastor Daniel. Too close, too intimate. The singing behind him faded into distant noise. The baby cried, and that moment, joy began to rot. In Umadara village, marriage without children is like a farm without harvest. Nena married Obioma when she was young and radiant. Their compound was small but full of hope. They planned children's names before the wedding mats were rolled away. But months passed, months became years, years became 2 decades. Each month came with anticipation. Each month ended with blood and silent tears. The women she once grew up with were now mothers of 5, some grandmothers. At naming ceremonies, she stood at the back. At village meetings, older women would whisper, "A woman who does not carry a child carries shame." Obioma defended her firstly, but even his strength wore thin in the dark of night. The arrival of a new pastor. When Pastor Daniel arrived in Umuadara, he came with fresh Hamatan weed, sharp and noticeable. Young, charismatic, educated in the city. His sermon was different. He spoke about breaking spiritual chains. He preached that barrenness was not always medical. Sometimes it was spiritual oppression. Hope lit again in Nena's tired heart. Obioma respected the young pastor deeply. "He carries fire," he would say proudly. And Nena believed that perhaps, just perhaps, this was the vessel God would use. A flashback, the day she went to seek help. It was market day when Nena overheard 2 women laughing about her. Hey, 20 years and still flat like a teenage girl. She pretended not to hear, but the words were first. That night she cried until her wrapper was soaked. The next morning, without telling Obioma, she went to the church. The building was quiet. Pastor Daniel was arranging books in his office. She fell to her knees before he would even greet her. "Please help me! Help me!" she begged. Not as a seductress, not as a wicked woman, but as a broken soul. She spoke of humiliation, of avoiding festivals, of fearing Obioma would eventually marry another woman. Pastor Daniel listened carefully, very, very carefully. He saw her vulnerability, and instead of guarding it, he stepped closer to it. "You are under spiritual attack," he said solemnly. Her breathing slowed. "I have seen cases like yours. They require special deliverance." Hope flickered. "Come for private prayer sessions. Some battles cannot be fought publicly." She agreed. The slow manipulation. The first session was harmless. Prayers, fasting instructions, scriptures about Hannah and Samuel. But gradually, something changed. He began telling her, "Your husband may not understand spiritual mysteries. Sometimes God uses unconventional methods." He created dependence. When she cried, he held her hands longer than necessary. When she doubted, he spoke in harsh tones that felt intimate. One evening, he said, I had a revelation. For your womb to open, there must be a transfer of spiritual covering. She did not understand, but she trusted. Trusted, trust is powerful in the hand of a wrong person. The rainy nights. It happened on a night heavy with rain. After midnight prayers, everyone left quickly to avoid the storm. And Nana stayed behind. She was shivering from cold and emotions. Pastor Daniel locked the church doors. I need to complete this deliverance, he said. His voice was calm, convincing. He prayed loudly at first, then softly. Then his hand reached on her waist. She froze. This is part of the process, he whispered. Her mind screamed confusion, but 20 years of desperation silenced resistance. She told herself, it is for my marriage. It is for my future. When it ended, silence filled the church. Rain beat the roof like judgment. He avoided her eyes. She walked home in the dark, unsure whether she had received a miracle or committed a sin. The pregnancy. Weeks later, Nusei came. Then the missed cycle. Then the tests. 2 bold lines. Pregnant! She sat on the bathroom floor shaking, joy tangled with fear. When she told Obioma, he wept openly. He danced around the compound shouting praises. The village celebrated widely. But every time Pastor Daniel saw her growing belly, fear tightened around his throat. Because miracles born from deception always carries shadows. The video finished playing in Obioma's hand. He replayed it. His fingers trembled. He stepped back into the compound. Stop the music. Silence swallowed celebration. He connected his phone to the church projector used for announcements. Gasps filled the air as the video played publicly. Women covered their mouths. Men cursed. Nena collapsed. Pastor Daniel turned pale as ashes. That night, elders gathered under the great Odala tree. Some demanded public disgrace. Some insisted the church board must be informed. The scandal would destroy the pastor's rising ministry. Obioma sat quietly. Then he spoke. If I report him, he falls. If I expose him, she dies in shame. But if I destroy this house, my son suffers. There was absolute silence. He thought of 20 years of empty rooms. The mockery, the mocked masculinity, the silent nights. Then he thought of the baby's cry. At dawn, he made his choice. The following Sunday, the church was overflowed with congregation. Everybody wanted to hear the story. Everybody expected a rage. Instead, Obioma stood holding the baby. Yes, wrong was done, he said calmly, but I will not report this to the church board. Shock rippled through the congregation. Pastor Daniel will leave this village quietly. The pastor wept openly, and this child will bear my name. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is strength that bleeds quietly. Within weeks, Pastor Daniel left Umodara. Some said his ministry never recovered. Some say he learned humility the hard way. The moon was full the night the elders summoned Obioma. Under the ancient Odala tree of Omodara village, decisions heavier than iron have been made for generations. Marriages have been dissolved there. Land disputes settled there. Men disagreed there. And now, Nena's feet waited there. The elders sat in a circle, their walking sticks planted firmly into the red earth. Nena knelt in the center, her wrapper dusty from crying. Obioma stood a few steps away, not touching her, not looking at her, but not leaving either. Elder Keke cleared his throat. In our land, he began, a woman who dishonors her husband dishonors his lineage. Murmurs of agreement followed. Another elder added, and a pastor who stays the altar must be reported to the church board. His collar should be removed. A third elder, older than the rest, leaned forward. Oh, Bioma, you have two choices: send her away or accept disgrace. The words fell like stones. Nena's shoulders shook. She did not defend herself because sometimes guilt removes the strength to speak. In Igbo culture, a man's pride is a second skin. To raise another man's child knowingly, to remain with a wife who betrayed him, many would call it weakness. Some younger men whispered from the shadows, "If it were me, she would not see the sunrise in this compound." Obioma heard them. His jaw tightened. Inside him, war raged. He remembered the video. He remembered the humiliation. He remembered 20 years of emptiness. And remembered something else. The first time he saw the baby smile. Before the elders could pass and press further, Obioma asked for one night. One night to think. That evening he returned home. Nena did not follow him inside. She remained outside the compound gate, believing she would soon be sent back to her father's house in shame. Inside, the baby lay sleeping. Obioma sat beside him. The child stared and gripped his fingers. That small hand, unaware of scandal, unaware of adult failure, held him tighter than pride ever could. Tears rolled down his face. For 20 years, he prayed for that touch. Was he now to throw it away because of ego? That night, Obioma dreamed of his late mother. In the dream, he sat beside him, pounding yam like she used to. She looked at him and said, "My son, when fire burns your roof, do you burn the whole house to punish the sparks?" He woke before dawn. Sweat covered his body, but his heart felt clear. Back to the Udala tree the next morning, the elders gathered again. Nena had not slept. Her eyes were swollen. Her future waited in Obioma's mouth. Elder Okeke spoke first. "Have you decided?" Obioma stepped forward. "Yes." Silence fell like a curtain. "I will not send my wife away." Gasps erupted. The younger men protested loudly. "You will raise another man's child?" "Yes," Obioma answered calmly. Then you accept shame," an elder said sharply. Obioma looked around the circle. "For 20 years, you watched us suffer childlessness. Did shame kill me then?" No one spoke. "This child may not carry my blood, but he carries my name, and my name would not abandon him." The elders shifted uncomfortably. For the first time since the scandal broke, Obioma turned to Nena. She could not lift her head. He stepped closer. The entire village watched. Slowly, deliberately, he reached down and lifted her to her feet. A collective gasp spread across the gathering. "You sinned," he said quietly. Only she could hear. "And you broke me." Fresh tears streamed down her face. "But I will not let the devil take 20 years of waiting from me." Her knees weakened. "I forgive you." The words were not loud, but they were heavier than thunder. Obioma then addressed the elders. "Forgiveness is not foolishness." He turned to Norma. "You will earn back trust with truth. No secrets, no lies." She nodded desperately. "You will never see that pastor again." Another nodded. "And you will remember that mercy is a gift, not a right." Then he faced the elders once more. "As for Pastor Daniel, let him answer to God. I will not carry revenge in my heart." Some elders shook their heads, others remained silent, but no one could force him to abandon his wife, because in the end, tradition advises, but a man decides. That evening, something powerful happened. Obioma and Nena walked home side by side, not holding hands, not smiling, but together. The same women who once whispered now stared in disbelief. Some admired, some mocked him, but Obioma walked steadily. Strength does not always roar. Sometimes it simply refuses to back. Months later, Nena became more humble. more attentive, not from fear, but from gratitude. She knew she had been given something rare, a second chance. 1 year later, during a village meeting, a young man mocked Obioma quietly, raising another man's blood. Obioma looked at him calmly and replied, "Blood makes a child, character makes a father." The gathering felt silent because in that moment everyone understood. It takes pride to abandon, but it takes courage to stay. In African wisdom, elders say the tree that survives the storm is the one that bends. Obioma bent, but he did not break. Forgiveness did not make him weak, it made him bigger than the scandal. And in choosing mercy over pride, he became the strongest man in Omo Dara.